Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Welcome back to the Privilege Stacking series. And I want to talk about how some women will literally try to shame you for being high maintenance. Like, they will say stuff like, who are you trying to impress? Are you rich? Don't nobody got the money for all that? So they will say all of these things about how they don't have the money to maintain their appearance or how they don't have the time to maintain their appearance. But it's like, okay, you not having time to be beautiful, that's not my problem. That's not my fault. And the way that I look at beauty is that beauty is a form of social currency. One of the things you have to think about as a member of the Pretty Girl Club is how beautiful do you want to be? Because that's actually your choice. You get to decide if you want to look like a pretty soccer mom. Do you want to look like a BBW? Do you want to look slim thick? Do you want to look like a supermodel? Do you want to be an influencer, an actress? You actually have a choice as to where you would like to fall on the beauty spectrum. So one thing that I've noticed is that these fake feminists, they will come online and then they will try to shame you because you're not just rolling out of bed in the morning wearing your natural hair and your natural nails and your natural face and stuff. And it almost seems like there is this divide between women who are all about wearing no makeup and stuff, like those types of women, versus the women who enjoy kind of like spending a little bit of money on their makeup. And once again, I just feel like a lot of people think in extremes. And I saw this TikTok where there were some girls, they were kind of arguing back and forth over how like being high maintenance is making you broke. And I mean, being broke is really subjective because different people have different financial priorities. Isn't it hilarious how women in the Black community suddenly you care about financial literacy when another woman looks better than you? So, the Black community as a whole has been one of the most financially illiterate communities in the history of the United States. But suddenly, when you see a woman who is walking around looking like a superstar, suddenly you want to try to be the financial literacy police and you want to try to tell her that she shouldn't be spending money on her beauty. She needs to be saving it and investing it in the stock market. You don't even know anything about stocks. Are you an accountant? No. Have you ever worked in finance? Probably not. You're probably just a basic Betty talking shit about women who decided to invest in themselves. So some women will decide to invest in the stock market. Some women do both. Like I do both. I invest in the stock market. By the way, get Nvidia. But I invest in the stock market, but I also invest a little bit of money here and there in my beauty. So it's like, why can't two things be true at the same time? I just feel like some women, they lack nuance and they also are secretly jealous because you have the extra money or because you have the courage to just be like, fuck it, I'm going to spend the money to get my gastric sleeve surgery so I can lose this weight. I'm going to spend the money so I can get Invisalign so that I don't have like buck teeth anymore. So I feel like some women they're just they're threatened by the fact that you're willing to take risks in order to attain your beauty goals. And by the way, I talk about beauty from a decentered perspective when it comes to men. Like anytime we talk about beauty over in the exotical space, it's never revolving around being beautiful so you can attract a white man or something. Like in the beluga whale empowerment space, a lot of them only talk about beauty in the context of dating and attracting white men. So they'll be like, oh, you should go natural because white men like natural hair. Oh, you should show off your dark skin because white men like dark skin. And it's like, okay, that's still very male centered. But I feel like the women who are willing to invest either money or time into their beauty maintenance, usually those women are actually doing it for more than just the male gaze. Like, usually, those types of women, they have goals and dreams, and their beauty is going to help them to get there. So, let's say a woman wants to be an actress. Let's say she's like 25, she lives in LA, maybe she just got signed to an agency. Getting her teeth fixed and not having buck teeth, that's actually going to help her mental health, number one, because when you're an actress or when you're in the public eye, people will nitpick every single flaw about you. So if she would have became an actress and had these crazy ass teeth, she would have had so many people like bullying her and making memes about her and stuff. So she's actually preventing a negative mental health outcome. She's increasing her social currency. Also, if you want to go into acting or modeling and you have pretty teeth, you can get, like, I heard of this one lady actually. She was like this older white lady. She was about in her 40s and she did a whole bunch of toothpaste commercials. And a part of why she got to do all those commercials was because she lived in LA and she had really good teeth. She invested money in getting her teeth perfect. And then every time she went to an audition, they were like, "Oh my gosh, your teeth are so beautiful. Like, we have to put you in this Colgate commercial." So for some women, it's not just about investing in their beauty just so they can like get a guy or so they can try to flex on you. No, beauty is not always about flexing. For some women, the beauty is an investment. That is how I view my beauty. I view my beauty as an investment. It's an investment in myself. It's a form of self expression. It's a form of self love. And also, beauty requires discipline. So just because you didn't have the discipline to make the money to afford to do your nails or whatever, or you didn't have the time to be able to learn how to do your nails, that is nobody else's responsibility. And the same women who try to shame other girls, like, oh, you're spending too much money. You don't know her financial situation. Are you in her bank account? No, you're not. We're all adults here. So, how another woman chooses to spend her money is actually none of your business. And I feel like some women they just take it way too seriously and then they try to shame women like you shouldn't be spending this much money on a designer bag or you shouldn't be spending that money on getting your hair done. And it's like, okay, the whole point of being an adult is that you're supposed to be able to make your own decisions and mistakes. So if a girl is truly going broke and becomes homeless because she got her weave done, then that's just going to be the consequence of her own actions. Just let her be homeless then. You don't have to go on social media and try to like tell other people or scare other people away from beauty treatments. I feel like there's this agenda from women online. For example, Stephanie Lang is coming to mind. I actually used to like her content. She's like this. She's a blonde girl that's from Australia or something. And I used to like her content, but I really do feel like a lot of her content, it kind of became like almost trying to shame you or scare you out of doing certain beauty enhancements or beauty treatments. Like I saw that she recently did one about Botox. I see women like talking crap about women who get their hair done, talking crap about women who go to the nail salon. And it's like, okay, you guys, you literally just sound like haters at this point. You sound like you're just mad because those women have the money or because they're not afraid to risk their money so that they can get their nails done. Different women have a different risk tolerance. For some women, they're willing to risk $500 to go to the hair salon. I personally, I can't do it. Well, I did actually get my hair done one time. It cost $1,000. That was the most expensive hairstyle I've ever had. It was $1,000 for micro links, but that's the only time I did that. But for some women, they are willing to take a risk because they know that it will pay off in other areas. And so for the Pretty Girl Club, for those of you watching this, one question you may want to ask yourself is how beautiful do I want to be? Like seriously, what do I want to gain from my beauty? Because generally speaking, all of these high maintenance girls who are spending 500 or $1,000 on their beauty per month, a lot of those girls are models and influencers or they're ex workers or, they're getting paid off of their body in some way. So there's kind of a return on their investment or they're a sugar baby or, they're like a socialite, kind of like Lori Harvey or somebody like that. So they're still getting a return somehow, so whether that's a social return that they are receiving, maybe they're receiving access into different rooms and stuff. I mean, you'd be surprised. Some women they prioritize having access to different spaces and stuff. And the same women who talk shit about high maintenance women who are beautiful, those are the same women who complain themselves and say, I didn't get into the VIP section. I've never dated a millionaire. I never got flown out anywhere. I never got any brand deals. Nobody clicks on my YouTube channel. Nobody watches my natural hair videos. So those are the same group of women who are complaining. And so it's like you get to decide which one you want. Do you want to have a high savings account and maybe you look frumpy? Or do you want to have like a lot of beauty and then you have to kind of grind and hustle? I notice I'm more of the second group. Like I'm a part of the second group where it's like, look, if I have to pay $700 for something, I'm going to figure out how to make the money so that I can pay for that without having to sacrifice my lifestyle. I'm one of those types of girls. I will figure out a way to manifest that extra money. I am kind of like a basic bitch. I low key do believe in like the concept of manifesting. So I get paid off of making YouTube videos. If this means that I have to make a couple of extra videos, I love what I do. So it's not hard for me to make a couple of extra videos. For some women, they're willing to get a second job. So if you know that your lifestyle is going to be high maintenance, or if you know that you have kind of expensive taste, or maybe you like to look perfect, then that's something that you can do. But one thing that I will never allow is for a basic Betty to try to scare me or fearmonger me out of being beautiful. Usually, those are the pick me women who do stuff like that. Like, oh, that's shallow that you're wearing makeup. Oh, you're shallow for wearing red lipstick. You're shallow. You're bad with money because you went and got a manicure. And it's like, okay, you telling someone that they're bad with money because they got a manicure, they're not going to suddenly be like, okay, Keisha on TikTok said that I'm bad with money. So now I'm going to completely change my life and finances because of what Keisha from TikTok said. So, like, you bashing people for wanting to meet their own beauty goals, I mean, that's not going to help. And another thing that you guys have to remember too is that different women have different beauty strategies. So for those of you listening to this, what is your beauty strategy? What is your way that you are going to attain your beauty goals? Because a part of what I teach on this channel is I talk about beauty hobbies. That actually helps you to save money. It helps you to not have to spend a whole bunch of money on professional services because you are creating hobbies where you are actually learning the skills so that you can be your own hairstylist. You can be your own makeup artist. You can be your own esthetician. You can be your own personal trainer. So you don't have to spend money. But I do feel like there are some areas to where it is worth it to spend the extra money. And whatever a woman chooses to spend her money on in terms of her body, it's none of your business. It's none of your business what another woman does with her body in her personal time. So I feel like women policing other women's beauty routines and saying, oh, well, you're financially irresponsible because you get your nails done. That's another form of internalized misogyny because you think that you have the right to tell another woman what she should do with her body. Her nails and her toes, that's a part of her body. So you don't get to control or try to police or try to shame women like, oh, well, you're just so irresponsible and you're so stupid and we should like put this on camera and show how bad of a person she is. No, sometimes women make mistakes, okay? So women deserve the right and women deserve the freedom to make mistakes. And that includes with their finances. So if a little 20-year-old girl who's fresh out of high school accidentally spends her whole entire paycheck on her nails or something, I don't think that that's something that you should go out of your way to drag a woman for. Like that girl is just probably doing what she's been taught, or she probably has FOMO. You know, think of teenagers. A lot of teenagers and women in their early 20s, they have FOMO. So if you have beauty FOMO, and I have beauty FOMO myself, you know, like if I see a cute hairstyle, I'm going to want to try that hairstyle. Or if I see a cute hair color or something, I totally am like that. So I get it. Um, but I feel like one of the social strategies that we can remember from seeing these trends where they're shaming women is just remembering to have your own beauty hobbies and creating your own personal curated beauty strategy for yourself and creating your own beauty goals and not allowing other people to tell you what to do. And this is a part of why I started gatekeeping my shit when it came to my beauty routine because somebody's always going to have some shit to say. Oh, you spent $500 just to get some braids? It's like, well, yeah, some women they do spend a lot of money on braids or they spent a lot of money on their gym membership. Like I am seriously considering getting a fancy gym membership. I don't think I'll get it this year. I might get it like January 1st, but I'm seriously thinking about it. It will be the most expensive gym membership that I've ever had. It would actually be a country club. So I'm seriously considering that. And that's because my health is a really big part of my beauty hobbies. You know, that's one of my hobbies where I am willing to pay a little bit more money. So I really do feel like every woman has certain areas where she is willing to splurge a little bit. Another area is with my foundation. So I only wear high-end foundation. I don't wear the Maybelline shit. I don't wear CoverGirl. You will never see that shit on my face. And by the way, no shade to you if you do wear those, but I'm just saying that's an area where I'm also willing to spend more money. So yes, I will spend money on NARS. That's my favorite. I'll spend money on like MAC or something. MAC is not super high end, but it technically is because it's like $50 just for foundation. For some people, they might say that I am financially irresponsible for spending $50 just on a foundation. I'm spending $50 on an orange foundation. But no, one of the things you can ask yourself though is how do I want to use my beauty? Because the way that you plan to use your beauty, that's going to point to what your priorities are. So I know that for me, I want to use my beauty to make money. Like I want to be able to actually make money off of my beauty. So for those of you who want to make money off of your body, so that would be ex workers, that would be dancers, that would be models, Instagram influencers, YouTube influencers, anyone who wants to be some type of socialite. Maybe you want to be a local socialite and you want to be seen at like high end galas and auctions and stuff like that. Okay, so in that case, yeah, you probably do have to invest a little bit more money just because you're going to be in the public eye. Like if you want to be in the public eye in any capacity, news reporters, I'm trying to think of what else, TV hosts, like anyone who works in Hollywood in any way, if you're working in the music industry or something, for you, yeah, I can see why you would be a little bit more like, kind of wanting to budget so that you can maybe spend a little bit more money, or maybe you want to spend time because those are the only two options, by the way. In order to be beautiful, beauty requires discipline. Okay. And then also for the women, if you truly are going broke and you really have no money, well, then, bitch, you can't spend the money. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you just can't spend the money because beauty is a reward. So one of the ways that beauty is a reward, okay? So men reward themselves by pursuing a beautiful woman, but also you have to understand that beauty is a reward for you as well. So beauty is a financial reward or it's a discipline reward. So like when I spend 6 months in the gym, me having beautiful abs, that is my reward. Or if I spend 6 months saving money, me getting my body done or whatever, that is my reward. So, I mean, that's another thing that every girl is going to learn over time. So, I don't think that putting down young women in their teens and 20s and kind of like shaming them, that's not going to help them to learn how to level up their beauty. And this is why I say a lot of people who claim to like be feminists or be like women's empowerment and stuff, it's fake. A lot of it is fake. They only want to empower women who agree with everything that they're doing. They don't like to empower women who have a different lifestyle than them. But if you are a high maintenance pretty girl, there are so many creative ways to be beautiful. I mean, so the first thing you'd want to do, like one thing that I did was I kind of listed out my beauty priorities. So I've noticed for me, my skin, that is a beauty priority. So anti-aging is very important to me. I want my face to be snatched. Like I want my skin to be smooth. I want it to be tight. I want my smile to be beautiful. I want my lips to look nice and full. I want my under eyes to look bright and stuff. So that's one of my beauty priorities. For other women, I notice that they really care about their hair. Like, especially in the Black community, I've noticed a lot of women, they spend a lot of money on their hair. My hair is actually my cheapest. That's one of my cheapest parts of my beauty regimen because if I ever get super desperate, I will just deep condition with some olive oil just out of the kitchen. I will just throw my hair in a bun. Oh my god, I was thinking about doing a stream about the type 3 girls where they wear their hair in that bun. I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't know of any other community that goes crazy over this basic ass bun other than like the Black community." But at the same time, I am so grateful for my fellow type 3 exoticals who have been representing for the effortless hairstyles because seriously, having that kind of representation that helps me so much because on the days where I want to be lazy as fuck, I will just put my hair in that same Lori Harvey bun. There are like a lot of influencers who do that same bun. If you have type 3 hair, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for me personally, my hair, that's one of the areas where I can skimp on the money and stuff. So you have to strategize and figure out for yourself, okay, what's most important, and also what are my beauty boundaries. So for me, I have financial beauty boundaries, and I also have physical beauty boundaries. So when it comes to my face, I am too scared. I don't think I will ever get like plastic surgery to the point where I'm changing any of my facial features because I'm too scared of my face getting messed up. That is my beauty boundary. But for some women, they are willing to get a nose job or they're willing to get like their lips filled or something like that. They're willing to get cheek filler. I'm too scared of like fillers. That goes past my beauty boundary because I'm so scared of messing up my face. But for some women, they're not scared and they are willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars on fillers and Botox. And well, Botox don't change your face, but like they're willing to spend on fillers like lip fillers or under eye fillers, cheek fillers, jaw filler. They're willing to spend on like getting a nose reduction or getting like their nostrils smaller and just all this random stuff. I'm not going to shame those women, but I would say if you are one of those women and you just happen to have a desire for something that's a little more expensive or requires a professional, then that is your right. You have every right to spend your money however you want to spend it. You have the right to be as beautiful or as basic as you want to be, and nobody else can check you. Like for the women who spend a lot of money on waxing, that used to be me. And then I looked at my budget and I saw that I spent $220 on waxes, waxing my legs, getting a Brazilian wax, just random waxes. And then I was like, okay, it's cheaper for me to just go ahead and invest money in the laser hair removal because then I don't have to get waxes like ever again. And then I can just keep up with the laser hair removal like every once a year or however long it takes for the hair to gradually come back because you're actually killing the hair follicle. And so I decided I just started getting my laser hair removal sessions this past month, and I'm eventually going to get my whole body done. I can't afford to like pay for it all at once. So I just paid for two areas so far, and that is my beauty strategy in terms of hair removal because like I said, skin is very important to me. So when you have a lot of hair, especially for those of you who are Latina or if you have like if you have different mixtures in your background or like your family inherited thick hair, my family has very thick hair. So having hairy ass arms and legs and just everywhere else is hairy. The hair on your head looks gorgeous, right? But then the hair on the rest of your body looks a hot mess. So for me, like having a hairless body, that also it makes my whole entire skin just look very smooth. You know, it makes it look very smooth and very bright and just like the ingrown hairs, you don't have that anymore because you literally don't have any hair growing there. So that is one of my beauty strategies. So you get to be creative. You can invest either your time or you can invest your money in whatever aspect of your beauty that you want. So when it comes to like my hair on my head, I tend to invest more of my time. In terms of money, I no longer even go to the hair salon at all. I haven't been to a hair salon in about, I think, 3 years now. The last time I went was actually when I got microlinks. And the microlinks, they looked really good, but I was just like, I didn't like having to do the upkeep. It was about $150 per month to keep up with the microlinks and to get them like tightened and stuff. That's when they link an extension onto your actual hair. It does not work for type 4 hair. It only works, you have to have a certain hair texture for your hair to be able to have the micro links without it breaking off. That was actually a little bit too high maintenance for me, the micro link thing, because also I was like, I can't change my hair color. I have to go into the actual salon. I have to spend 2 hours there. So every woman has different beauty priorities. So what are your beauty priorities? And I'm going to give you some ideas in this video because this is like one of my favorite topics, or in this stream, I'm going to give you some ideas. So one of my most expensive piece of my beauty routine actually is my groceries. Okay, because my diet is the foundation of where my beauty comes from, or at least that's my belief. My belief is that beauty starts from within. It starts from within my body, and I've witnessed this with my own diet. If I eat a lot of salt, I will have like cortisol face, my whole entire face and jaw and my chin, and just everything looks a lot more swollen. If I eat too much salt, I get like more under eye bags and like double chin, basically, even when I'm skinny. So, what I eat is actually very important. So, I actually am extremely high maintenance when it comes to groceries. A lot of people probably think that I overspend on groceries because my grocery bill, it's like a couple of $100s a month just for one person, just for me. I only eat organic. I do not purchase fruits and vegetables that are not organic. And I only shop at like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and like all of the super expensive stores. So that is one of my beauty strategies because I feel like I eliminate a lot of problems by just eating the right foods. And then I talked about how I'm seriously considering getting a membership at this very fancy gym because the gym that I'm interested in, it has like a bunch of saunas and stuff. And I notice my body reacts really well to like the red light saunas and like red light therapy, all of this like spa type of stuff, my body reacts really well to that. And because I already spend a couple $100, every few months to go to the spa, I go to the spa like quarterly. I notice that I go there mainly for their saunas and like their hot rooms, their cold rooms. I go there for stuff like that. So if I can just get a membership somewhere where I can do that anytime, then I don't have to actually go to the spa. So that's my area of my beauty where I splurge. It's when it comes to gym memberships and working out and stuff, and also when it comes to my actual diet. I have an unlimited budget. I actually do not give myself a grocery budget because my food is very like important to me. People can get cancer, they get all kinds of diseases and stuff, and it's all like it starts in their gut. And so that's my number one priority in terms of my beauty hobbies. So I am technically high maintenance. You might call me financially irresponsible for spending $250 at Trader Joe's. And yes, sometimes my food goes bad in the fridge. Yes, I'm one of those people. Sometimes, like I just threw away one of my bananas. I didn't see it in the fridge. So I had an extra banana in there and it went bad and I had to throw it away. So, yes, technically, I wasted my money on that one banana. But guess what? That's life. And that is the beauty of being a woman. Part of like having your own journey with your femininity, a part of your feminine journey is trial and error. So it's learning what beauty routines work for you. Maybe you're really good at staying consistent with your diet. Like I'm pretty good at staying consistent with the diet. I've noticed. For some women, maybe they're really good and really motivated to actually save up the money to get their acrylic nails done. I know that's a whole culture. Getting your nails done. For some women, they like watching the videos of the girls who like paint their nails or like they do their own acrylics and stuff. So for some women, they have different aspects of their beauty that motivate them. I know that for me, one of the best compliments you can give me is that you like my nails because I like going to the salon sometimes and getting like a nice little shellac manicure or something. So what are your beauty priorities? Is it your natural hair? Is it your extensions? I have never in my life spent $200 on a wig. I've never done that and I never will because that's just not important to me. But for some women, they really care about like the quality of their hair and they care about like the Malaysian and Peruvian and whatever all the different types of hair, Brazilian. So they care about stuff like that. I don't care. I will purchase a cheap $5 synthetic ponytail and call it a day. But one of the strategies you can use, though, if you want to save money on your beauty maintenance routine, is by acquiring skills. So, this is why I talk about beauty hobbies. Have you been practicing your beauty hobbies? Like, if you're really into nails, I recommend learning a skill in the area that is most important to you. So, for me personally, because my diet is so important, I actually took the time to learn how to cook healthy meals. I took the time to learn how to properly grocery shop. So, yes, I actually go onto Pinterest and I create my own list of like different fruits and vegetables that I want to try. I go online and I look up like what fruits are in season right now, and then I will go get those fruits. And that's because that's my number one beauty priority is my diet. So for you, if yours is like hair or makeup, you can actually spend the time and basically like go to school. It's like Pretty Girl University, kind of like what I talked about on this channel. I had a series called Pretty Girl University. Some other YouTube channels stole it, but whatever. I had a series where I talked about self-care and stuff and basically taking yourself through Pretty Girl University. So you're basically becoming your own personal makeup artist. You're becoming your own personal hairstylist. You're learning the skills so that you can do it on a professional level for yourself. I have been trying to learn how to do like gel nails for the longest time. Now I'm just bad at it. Okay. So there are some things where I'm bad at. I'm bad at doing like manicures and stuff. So I've decided, okay, 4 times a year, I'm going to go to the professional and get a manicure. So quarterly, I'm going to go get a professional manicure or during the holidays, really. So October, November, December, and then February for Valentine's Day. Whether I have a Valentine or not, doesn't matter. So, what are your beauty priorities? And if you don't have the money, Are you willing to take on a second job or start a YouTube channel? This is why I tell all of the pretty girl clubs start a YouTube channel because you have an advantage. If you have pretty privilege, you're at an advantage when it comes to being an influencer. You can either show your face and show your pretty privilege or whatever, you can do hair, makeup, whatever you're good at, or you can start an anonymous YouTube channel and just talk about being pretty. That's how powerful pretty privilege is. That is how powerful that form of social currency is. So that's why I tell you guys, even if you don't, it doesn't have to be an exotical channel. I mean, I just start a channel and get some money for God's sakes. Because all you have to do is get, I think it's what, 4,000 hours of watch time and like only 1,000 subscribers. And then you start making money for every single view that you get on YouTube. You don't get paid off of subscribers, you get paid off of views. So one of my goals when I first started this YouTube channel was, okay, I want to see if I can pay my phone bill with my YouTube channel. Okay, I want to see if I can pay for my grocery bill with my YouTube channel. For the longest time, this YouTube channel only paid like my phone bill and it paid for like my Trader Joe's groceries. And I was happy with that. So starting a little side business, especially if it's something you enjoy doing, it doesn't have to be based around beauty. If you're good at drawing, you can start an art channel or something. And then that money that you make from your art channel, you can use that to get your little nails done and you can invest in the stock market. So you can do both. And that's what I do. I like to do both. So every month I put aside a little bit of money to go in savings. I put aside a small amount of money to go in the stock market. And then I put in more money to go towards beauty stuff or my groceries or whatever. And I'm just being honest because, it's my money. I can do whatever I want. So a lot of people they're trying to fearmonger you. They want you to have the fear of poverty. So they have a fear of poverty. I'm not afraid of becoming poor. So it's like, even if I did, let's say I spent all of the money in my bank account today and I had $0, I still would not be scared because I know myself. I'm not scared of poverty because I know that I would never allow myself to become homeless. I would never allow myself to become impoverished. I know that I would get a second job before I would let myself get evicted or something, or like I can't pay my phone bill and my phone got turned off. So I don't have that same fear of poverty. A lot of women who have PTSD, they have poverty PTSD, or they come from impoverished backgrounds. They're going to try to scare you out of your beauty hobbies by trying to enforce this fear of poverty. Like, oh, you can't afford to get your hair done. That's $100. Oh, you can't afford to get your nails done. That's $70 for a pedicure. You can't afford to go to a fine dining restaurant and eat some healthy food for your birthday. Oh, that's $200. So they're saying it because they're hoping that you have a fear of being poor, or they will try to shame you. They hope that you have the same shame that they have about their money situation. So they're trying to shame you about yours. Don't fall for that. That's a scarcity mindset. I don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to my money and when it comes to my beauty. I know that there's more where that came from. So, I say that I'm not spiritual, but I guess I kind of still am because I truly do believe in abundance. Like the money that I'm generating now from YouTube, I can generate more money next month, or I can generate even more from getting a second job. Or if this YouTube channel goes away, let's say this channel disappears, I can create another YouTube channel because I have the skills within me to be articulate and to create an audience. So all the skills I learned from this YouTube channel, I can take it to another YouTube channel that has nothing to do with this if I want. I can become a bartender for God's sakes. I can work at Starbucks for God's sakes. So I don't have that same fear of poverty that a lot of those other women have that try to shame you into like being ugly. Being ugly is not going to guarantee that I'm going to be rich, by the way. So they have a scarcity mindset. You can't be both beautiful and financially stable. You can't be both beautiful and rich at the same time. You have to, it's either one or the other. You have to pick and choose in their mind. And so they feel like, hey, I chose to look frumpy and I have an additional $500 in my bank account. You chose to look like a supermodel and you only have $200 in your bank account. So you failed. So they're trying to shame you out of that. And also, for some women, this is just a straight up social climbing tactic. They want to make themselves feel better by putting you down. So they want to make themselves feel better, like, oh, but I don't wear any makeup, and I feel like I'm a bad bitch, and you had to put on all that makeup, and that's the only reason you look pretty. And it's like, sis, you're literally that's hierarchy thinking. Number one, you place natural beauty on a higher scale than like fake beauty, makeup, whatever. And then number two, you're having an external locus of control. Like you're comparing your beauty to another woman's beauty. So it's like, oh, because she's wearing a weave or whatever, now she's less beautiful than you. So all of that it's based on hierarchy thinking. It's based on a scarcity mindset. So my thing is, don't ever allow other women to shame you into being ugly. But one of my beauty hacks is I'm always looking for discounts and I try to like do extra things that will help me to make money so that I can afford to do my beauty stuff. But there is some stuff to where it's like, even if I don't have a lot of money, I'm still going to get it. Like, if I don't have a lot of money, I am still going to get healthy foods from the grocery store. I am never going to spend 6 months eating ramen noodles or something because, oh, I don't have that much money. So I understand where some of those women are coming from if they're prioritizing certain things. But like I said, though, I don't have a fear of poverty. So I know that I would never be on the street begging. I don't think that these women are just going to be on the street holding up a sign and then they've got a fresh lace front and fresh manicures. So I feel like a lot of the women, they're over exaggerating it. Like, oh, they're going broke because of these beauty maintenance routines. Okay, they're obviously not going that broke because every homeless woman I see, usually she is not with a slayed wig and like a slayed acrylic nails. So I just feel like that's kind of an exaggeration. And even if a girl was homeless and she had slayed nails and a slayed wig or something, she probably would get picked up within like 24 hours. But in terms of my beauty hacks, though, and beauty priorities, there are a lot of different ways to achieve the same results because I saw some women online, they're like, oh, but this woman doesn't need Botox or she doesn't need facials or she doesn't need acupuncture. Okay, but it's like, you're not living in that woman's body. So for some women, getting a lymphatic drainage massage, that's important to her, or it makes her feel good. Like it literally helps her immune system to go up. Because I know for me personally, when I go to the saunas or when I do cryotherapy, it seems to kind of stimulate my entire immune system. So my allergies, I notice they tend to like dwindle down or go away. It's almost like the inflammation in general, because allergies, inflammation, that's kind of what it is. It's kind of like sinus inflammation. So the inflammation in my body, just in general, goes down because of stuff like that. So only the women who are leveled down, who have never done stuff like that, those are the only ones who don't see the value. It's like, yeah, of course you don't think Botox and all that is valuable. You can't afford it. You've never had it. So of course you don't think it's valuable getting liposuction or whatever. You've never been able to afford it. So of course you're going to bash somebody else who does it because you've never had the means or the discipline or the courage to go after something that you wanted or to at least try it. Like I tried the PRP facial, the vampire facial. I tried it before and I will say even though I never got it again because it hurt, like the micro needling. Oh my god, I hate that shit. But I still might get it again though because immediately after that facial, I looked 5 years younger. So it did make an immediate difference. And I only got that facial because it was on sale. So I always am looking at different coupons and like 2-for-1 deals and stuff. I am the type of person that is willing to spend money to get like a 2-for-1 deal. So even though I'm technically spending more money, if I know that I'm going to go back and get the laser hair removal or whatever it is, I'm willing to make the investment up front because then it's taken care of. Because then I know, like, okay, I'm going to have my nails done for the next year, or I'm going to have my waxes or my laser hair removal done for the next 6 months. So that's another way that I save on my beauty maintenance. Another tip for the Pretty Girl Club is to go to stores like TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls. I got my favorite hair oil from I think it was like Marshalls. It was on sale for like $5. Usually that oil is like $20. You know how they have those fancy oils that are like, it promises to make your hair grow. So I have this one particular oil that I get. It always grows my edges. It smells wonderful. It always like softens my hair. It just looks amazing. It makes my baby hairs look amazing. Just everything about that oil is amazing, but it's a little bit expensive. I'm very cheap. I just told you guys I'm very cheap when it comes to my hair. So that's another one of my beauty hacks. If I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money, I will go to like I don't know, Five Below. I have got little beauty items from Five Below, just like hair scrunchies or I don't know, just random stuff like that. So I'll go to those cheap stores instead of only going to Ulta or Target where it's going to be full price. I will actually wait until my favorite conditioner or oil goes on sale, or I will just go to the store and try something cheap. Like, yes, I am the girl who has used shampoos and conditioner from the Dollar Tree. But for a lot of women who prioritize their hair more, maybe they can't do that. They're too scared or maybe they feel like, their hair is more sensitive kind of, so maybe it'll have a bad reaction to a shampoo and conditioner from the Dollar Tree. So that's okay. As a pretty girl, and being a part of your own pretty girl university, it's up to you to decide. And that's the fun. That's the fun part of being pretty. And that's the fun part of being carefree and living the soft life. It's having the freedom to experiment. So for all these women on social media bashing women for being high maintenance, I just feel like those women, they are not used to the soft life. So they don't have a soft life, so they can't spend the time or the money to like maintain themselves. And so they're shaming these other young women who do happen to have the privilege and the time and the money to be able to be beautiful. But another one of my beauty hacks is I always like to go to new neighborhoods because sometimes like the prices of certain beauty items are marked down or they're marked up depending on what neighborhood you're in. So if I go somewhere where it's kind of like this hidden gem, so their stuff is not sold out. You know how I've talked about my foundation being sold out or like some of my favorite items, they just get sold out depending on what part of the city I'm in. I will go to a different part of town or I will take in the beauty tips from my admixtures and stuff. So, like, let's say you are part Irish, let's say you're part Latina, let's say you are part Arab. Are there any hair care practices from those communities that you can, practice on yourself? Because then maybe you don't have to spend as much money on hair growth vitamins and stuff. Because, well, for example, in the Indian community, I'm not Indian or anything, but in the Indian community, I know that they actually have like little spas where they massage your scalp. They use like the Ayurvedic herbs and they put it on your scalp, they massage you, and they specifically put their hair in that braid because it holds moisture. So if that's a part of your mixture or that's a part of your background, is there a way that you can like glean knowledge from your cultural background because some of their practices may work better on you because it's in your actual genetics. So maybe it does help your hair to hold moisture if you put your hair in one single braid going down your back versus other girls. They can't, their hair doesn't hold moisture. Their hair can't even go in a braid going down their back because maybe their hair doesn't even grow downwards. It grows upwards. Maybe it's type 4. So it grows in an upwards afro direction. And maybe your hair is like type 3 or type 2 and it grows downwards. So you get to use the actual beauty practices from your cultural heritage. And that's one of your beauty hobbies. And that can actually help you to save money. And it makes your hair routine a little lower maintenance. By the way, that's one of the hair routines that I do. I do lots of side braids, the little native braids, the pigtail braids, two braids kind of going down your back, especially if I'm deep conditioning or something. Or even if I'm not, I will spray my hair with like some rice water and then I do feel like the rice water, it's a little bit strong. So that's like very high protein. So if your hair is like very protein sensitive, maybe you shouldn't. But my hair loves protein because my hair struggles with being over moisturized. I've never met anyone black who also has over moisturized hair. So I've noticed that that tends to only be an issue in, I guess, non-black spaces or people who have very loose hair textures. But for me personally, my hair actually gets over moisturized. And a lot of the African American hair products are way too heavy for my hair. 75% of the Shea Moisture products, too heavy. I love their coconut and hibiscus products though, but a lot of their frankincense and myrrh hair products, their castor oils and stuff, I don't put castor oil on my actual hair. I can put it on my roots like every other day or a couple times a week, but I can't put a lot of heavy products on my hair. So getting knowledge about your beauty and getting knowledge about your ethnic heritage and like your actual DNA and stuff, and like kind of knowing what your hair type is and what your skin type is. Like, what skin tone are you on the Fitzpatrick scale? Do you have thicker skin? Do you have thinner skin? Do you know what parts of your body have thicker skin versus skin that's thinner? Because I know that underneath my eyes, for example, the skin is a little bit thinner. So this is why you have to use an eye cream. Um it's because of the texture of the skin underneath the eye. That's why you can't use just a regular lotion and put it up under your eye because it's going to cause you to get little teeny tiny bumps. Basically, your pores underneath your eyes are going to get clogged. This has happened to me multiple times, so I know. And also, if you are too young, if you do not have enough wrinkles, this has also happened to me. If you don't have enough wrinkles under your eye for that eye cream, it's going to do the same thing where it's going to give you those white bumps because there's nothing there. Like there's nothing for the lotion to latch onto. You literally don't even have any wrinkles. So all it's doing is just screwing up your skin under your eyes. So this is why I've actually never worn an eye cream. I'm gonna try one. I'm gonna try a very cheap, very lightweight one, kind of like a gel texture. So if you're into eye creams and you have minimal wrinkles under your eye, you can start off with like a gel eye cream, not the super emollient lotions. So this is the type of stuff that you learn when you're living the soft life and when you have the time to educate yourself on your own beauty. So you can kind of learn like, okay, where is my skin a little bit thinner? Do I have an area on my skin where it's more sensitive to the sun? Like I noticed my neck area, that's very sensitive to the sun. Like if I get too much sun, it's going to look like an alligator. You know those ladies in California where it's like the white ladies where they have all those lines on their chest? My skin does that same thing if I do too much sun with no sunscreen. So, all of that is a part of your beauty routine. So, yes, in order to be beautiful, it requires discipline, whether that's financial discipline or that's discipline with your time. So, you have to either acquire the knowledge to be beautiful or you have to acquire the money to be beautiful. There are no other options. Those are your only two options. You're either going to invest time to be beautiful or you're going to invest money to be beautiful. Or you're going to be a basic Betty who talks shit about women who are beautiful. Which one do you want to be? I like to do a little bit of both. I like to kind of learn about beauty. So, one thing that I was doing today, actually, so I did my hair routine today. I'm actually deep conditioning right now. I have my little shower cap on and I have my deep conditioner in my hair while I'm recording. But one thing I did was while I was in the shower, I put on some like hair videos. So I put on like the Glam Twins and like remember all the OG hair influencers and stuff. So I put on a playlist of all these videos where they were all talking about their favorite hair products or like what new hair products are out and like new hair methods and stuff. So I like just kind of having those types of videos playing in the background because it just kind of helps me to acquire knowledge. And that also helps me to save money because I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Like when I was watching the Glam Twins a few years ago, they were the ones who first told me back when I was in college, well, from their videos, they were talking about how they put olive oil on their hair. And I was like, olive oil? I have olive oil in the kitchen right now. And so once I learned about just using cheap oils from the kitchen, like olive oil, avocado oil, almond oil, then that really helped me to like save a lot of money because I didn't have to always purchase a brand new expensive, 20 or $30 conditioner. I'm always running out of like deep conditioners and stuff. So that was a good tip that I learned just from investing time into gaining knowledge about my own beauty. So that's another thing. Like if you have the knowledge and if you have the same level of skill as a professional, then you don't need to get your stuff done. Like I don't get my makeup professionally done. I've never paid to get my makeup professionally done other than when I was in prom, going to prom in high school. But I don't have to because I've learned how to do my own makeup to my liking. So for some women, maybe they do want to learn to get their makeup done. Like I actually had a friend, so she wasn't black or anything. She was actually white, but she wanted to learn how to get her makeup done. And so she used to go to Sephora all the time, like every weekend or whenever she wanted to get like a new makeup product, she would actually schedule to get her makeup done just to see what they could do with her face to kind of give her ideas and inspiration on like how to do her own eyebrows, how to do her eyeshadow and stuff. Because she said that every time she got her makeup done by like a black girl or an Asian girl, she said that they would always kind of like interpret her face in a different way. And so they would all do her makeup slightly differently. And she liked that. She liked learning in that way. So, one of the things you can do as a part of your journey at Pretty Girl University is you can come up with all of these fun strategies and you can make it fun for yourself. You can make it like a little game, like, okay, I'm going to go and get my makeup done at this Sephora. And then, next month, if I buy something new, then I'm going to get my makeup done there. So you can make it like how my friend did it. I told you guys about one of the things I like to do, which is to go to different spas. I told you guys I'm always searching online for different coupons and deals, and I'm joining email lists. Yes, I'm one of those people who will like join the email list. Yes, I check my email. So if I see that they have a deal, like I got so excited because this new eyelash place just opened up in my neighborhood, and even though I'm probably not going to get my eyelashes done anymore because I just realized that that's kind of like it's not a big priority to me to have my lashes done. I'm pretty sure that I can just do the little fake ones, the little cluster lashes. I think I like those better. But this new eyelash place opened up right by where I live, and they have manicures and pedicures for $20. And I was like, oh my God. So, for those of you who are in the Patreon, you know that I just purchased a Groupon where I found a place that had $19 manicures and pedicures. See, that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. If you are strategic and if you care about saving money and stuff, or if you have some extra time on your hands, trust me, you can find ways to be resourceful about your beauty. And no, it's not going to make us homeless. No, we're not going to be standing on the side of the street because we got a manicure. So that gaslighting tactic is not going to work with us. But I got so excited. So I try to keep up with like new spas and stuff that are opening, or like, if they have a new store, if they have I don't want to call it a secondhand store, but like Marshalls, TJ Maxx, stores where they sell stuff where it didn't sell in Nordstrom's and all that. I love to keep up with stores like that. So if I am driving and I see a new one, I'll be like, "Oh my God, I need to go to that discount store." Just so I can look around and see, because I found so many good stuff just by doing that. I have saved so much money by doing that instead of only relying on Amazon. Do you know how many cheap hair products I found? So like in terms of hair products, the Hispanic hair products work better on my hair and they're cheaper. So I have found like deep conditioners and stuff, really good ones that work really well. They will be like $5, $4, $6, $7 versus a $30 hair treatment from Sephora. So you get to make your beauty routines fun. You get to decide, like, okay, what kind of scents do I like? What kind of perfumes do I like? If you're a perfume girl, I love perfumes. I like the cheap perfumes. Yes, I'm into the cheap shit. I used to get the more expensive perfumes, but as I've gotten older, I don't know. I just wanted to change up my scent. I was like, I don't want to have the same exact scent for like 25 years. I just need to switch it up. So now that I'm older, I'm more into body sprays. Yes, I like the cheap ass. I like the cheap body sprays. I love the fruity scented sprays. So one of my favorite perfumes is actually at Five and Below. But that's where one of my favorite perfumes is. And I would not have discovered that had I not decided, like, hey, let me walk into the store where it's like $5 or less. And so, that was another way that I saved money. I stopped purchasing the super expensive perfumes. So I started off buying like, some of the $50 perfumes. That's actually not that expensive, but it is kind of expensive for me in terms of perfume, because that's not a huge priority for me, perfumes. So I started off buying the $50 perfumes, then I switched to like the $20 ones that you get in Target, the nice smelling ones like Pacifica, and I think that's the name of the brand, but those types of perfumes. And then finally I found some where, I could get them for $5 or $6. So now I've got all my little body sprays. So, that's just a part of meeting my own internalized beauty standard. My beauty standard for me is I want to look good. I want to smell good. I want my skin to be perfect. I want to look young. I want my face to look snatched. People have been telling me that I look like I'm like 23. So I've received that compliment multiple times. And that's because I invested money in getting things done to my face, more expensive things. I get more expensive treatments on my face because it really does make a difference. So a lot of the people who tell me like, "Oh, you look like you're 23, you look like you're 25, you look super young." I literally have been aging backwards, and I can say that I actually have because I've looked at pictures. But that's because I'm willing to splurge when it comes to my skin. So I am probably going to get this $100 lotion. I'm not going to get it anytime soon. I might get it like next year or something like that, because I like to think long and hard before I spend a lot of money on like a lotion. But there is this one brand, the skincare brand. Their skincare is excellent. It's very expensive, but it really is worth it. But I think I'm going to try maybe like Botox or something. It's basically like Botox except in the form of lotion. Like, that's how good that lotion is. Um, but yeah, for some people, they're willing to invest more for their face to look young. Like, for me, that's what I'm willing to invest my money in. For other women, it's their hair. They want their hair to be slayed. They want their extensions to look effortless, and they want it to look real, or, they like kind of the silk press look or whatever. Anyway, what are your beauty goals? What are your beauty hobbies? Do you guys want me to make any more videos about this topic? Do you want me to talk about like ideas for different beauty hobbies, or maybe my own beauty journey of like exactly how I lost my pretty privilege and how I gained it back? Like what exact beauty hobbies I did and what exact beauty hobbies I didn't do that made me lose the pretty privilege? What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.